Rainbow Six Siege. I already made a very long video about this game's shortcomings a year ago. This is quite literally the most important game of my life. Rainbow Six Siege was released in December 2015, to a very awful reception. It just wasn't what Rainbow Six fans wanted at the time. Rainbow Six was a serious game, built on realistic single-player SWAT missions where you have to take your time and plan things and all that stuff. And now it's an online-only multiplayer hero shooter with some realistic elements. Add to that the usual jank that Ubisoft games just come with, and the game quickly died off. But what actually is Siege, you might ask? You basically got 5 dudes outside a building and 5 dudes inside a building, and one team is trying to get in and complete an objective, while the other team has to keep them out of the building and away from the objective. The attackers retrieve this by utilizing their operator gadgets. The game has 20 operators, each with their own unique gadgets. Things like a grenade launcher, some really hot breach charges, a drone that shoots electric lasers, and EMP grenades to name a few. Meanwhile, the defenders get access to more defense-oriented gadgets, like toxic gas, IEDs, or reinforced barricades. The hero system isn't the actual draw to the game. What really makes Siege stand out are two things: destruction and one-shot headshot. Siege's maps are designed around destructibility, reachable walls to make new entrances, floors to give a sideline right into vital map points, and also barricades and hatches. Siege retaining a sort of core audience and the original devs being just so goddamn talented caused the game to literally be resurrected from the dead. Through a simple 4 seasons a year, new one every 3 months plan, the game was spoon-fed content till it could be called a real video game. From year 1 to year 4, the game received new maps, 2 new operators with new guns, and balance patches in between that will make the game more interesting. And this went just fine up until December 2019. In short, team members from the very beginning left and were replaced by a new team, which in turn did not understand what made the game great.
Oh my god, Daddy!
He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
The game changed so much, there's an entire YouTube account dedicated to remember when Siege had this, with a total of 90 minutes of content. Can you imagine? 90 minutes of content that's no longer in this game, that people are nostalgic about, and it's all narrated by Patrick Bateman. And now here we are. We've been going from okay, good points with sometimes, very rarely, great points, to low points. Really low points. Like abysmally low points. Some of the good things Ubisoft has done in the past 4 years are introduce new scopes, introduce a few new guns, introduce new maps, they're okay, make arcade a permanent game mode, add deathmatch, add the replay system, add some accessibility things as well as a streamer mode, introduce mousetrap to catch people that use mouse and keyboard on console, and apparently update their anti-cheat, apparently. Now here's some of the bad things Ubisoft has done. Remove the 2.0 and 1.5 scopes, turning the game back on its old scope system just with new options. Slow the game down even more by reworking the grip system that has been established since day 1, basically turning all but one completely useless, and also introducing a stupid gimmick where higher zoom optics are slower than 1.x optics, and also having no scope at all makes the gun faster to aim too. Break shotguns by making the laser pointer make you aim faster, which is only barely faster than the normal aim was just 1 season ago. Having one of the worst roadmaps of all time, with basically no content at all. Breaking the game at the start of every single season. Do nothing to combat cheaters, making the game look like TF2. Drop a season with so little content, even the season that intentionally had barely anything so they could fix the game, introduce more content. And during the very same season that had more bugs than content, they introduced a subscription system to a nearly 10-year-old game. That is worse than the original concept that they copied from Fortnite. Operation New Blood, which is the newest season we have right now, has no new maps, no new map reworks, and the only content they do have, which is basically taking an established character that already was reworked and reworking him again, making him objectively worse. While the new and improved model is just a rip from their mobile game. And as if this isn't enough, they added a subscription service to a 10-year-old game that they stole from Fortnite. Absolutely outstanding, Ubisoft. You truly are the masters of making me insanely depressed. And so the question is, now what? The plan for the remainder of year 9 is looking quite sad. What will Ubisoft do? The game will turn 10 years old next year. 10 years! Is there any other FPS like this? Even CSGO turned into CS2 with its own issues. Ubisoft apparently plans to continue the game without making a sequel, but it's not even feasible. The game's engine cannot support this anymore, as evidenced by the massive amount of launch issues every new season. Siege currently is stuck in purgatory. The only question is, when will it finally move on to heaven?
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
It should be a crime to look this good.
TF2 was released in 2007, and we don't really need to introduce this game. Almost everyone on this channel is here because of Akechi's quote-unquote good videos about Nemesis Blue. In 2017, right after TF2's 10th anniversary, Valve dropped the Jungle Inferno update, introducing 5 new weapons, 5 new community-made maps, 1 Valve-made map, and 49 new cosmetics. This was the last major update for 7 years, with the game only receiving minor holiday updates with more cosmetics and maps, which were all made by the community. This concept of abandoning the game would be stolen like many things from TF2 by Overwatch 4 years later.
Yes.
In TF2, there are generally 3 types of bots: cheater bots, idle bots, and trade bots. Cheater bots do what the name says. They're fully automated AI-controlled bots that join public servers, usually as sniper, and do shit like this. These cheater bots that are fully automized can join VAC's secure servers because VAC is outdated as fuck, and are often run by so-called botnets. So if you're an unsuspecting normie that only knows TF2 as the funny game and would do the grave mistake of playing the game via quick match, you would very quickly be confronted by reality as a 360 spin-botting sniper takes your ass back to spawn while also calling you a fat. The trader bots trade items for third-party sites. That's pretty much it. The biggest bot population, and in fact the biggest population that even plays this game, are idle bots. For every cheater bot, there are about like 60 idle bots. What they do is they sit in their own servers and farm in-game items. Idlers are there to make as much money out of TF2's economy as possible. This leads to them ruining said economy and making TF2 seem far more popular than it actually is as a byproduct. The YouTuber ZestyJesus found out that there are in total 60,000 bots active in TF2. For more information, his videos are linked in the description as well. But basically, a large number of TF2's player count are bots. Due to all of these issues, the trend #SaveTF2 was started, a campaign to make Valve fix their dusty bot overrun game. This was started by SquimJim in May of 2022. Originally, this was supposed to be a campaign to make Valve fix the game, but it slowly turned into a peaceful protest mainly on Twitter, with people sharing their favorite memories about the game. In the end, it achieved peak popularity with 160,000 tweets in a single day. This somewhat worked, making Valve tweet the funniest thing ever. We were so naive back then. They then sat on their ass for a year, released a summer update featuring 14 maps, 25 cosmetics, a game mode created by the community called vs Exton Hale, and then disappeared again. Not even addressing the bot issue or anything. Then in May 2024, Fix TF2 was called into life, basically being a repeat of Save TF2 from 2 years prior, but this time to focus primarily on the bots and the issues surrounding the game. Valve still makes money off of TF2, so it's very irresponsible of them to offer a product that doesn't even function anymore. And that's where we stand today. Bots are still the norm, and Valve is busy creating their own Overwatch. #FixTF2.